Rookie quarterbacks in conference championships have all lost. Will that be true as well for Brock Purdy? What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back with another analysis video looking at the game we all know and love, football. And, if you've been living under a rock, Brock Purdy and the 49ers are set to face the Philadelphia Eagles at Philadelphia for the NFC Championship and the right to go on to the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. So a lot at stake here. And he's coming up against some history here. 4 rookie quarterbacks have attempted to move their teams on to the final dance, and they all have failed. Now, I'm not saying here that history rules above all, but looking at the statistics and the reasons why, the variables are very important, and not just throwing him out because he's on a 5-game winning streak in the regular season and a 2-0 winning streak in the playoffs. But it's a valid point being made here that no rookie has advanced beyond the conference championship game for some solid reasons. So let's look at why. Why will he fail? Or potentially, why will he succeed? I'm an Eagles fan here, so I don't have a vested interest in him proving history wrong, but we shall see. The 49ers, Brock Purdy is the 5th rookie quarterback, like I said, to start a conference championship game. The other 4, also like I just said, fell short. So yeah, we know he's the toast of the town. And he's had an amazing start. He's been an immaculate pick. The last overall pick in the 2022 draft. Mr. Irrelevant, as they dub them. Usually it's a kicker or a special teamer, but punter. But it's not obviously a premium position because you are literally the last priority. You don't even take priority over the rookie free agents that they draft, who they don't draft specifically so they don't have to pay them a certain amount of money. But hey, sometimes it's just providence. He fell into a good situation with a quarterback whisperer himself in Kyle Shanahan, who does well in coaching those quarterbacks up and getting them ready to play, accentuating their talent and not putting them in positions to fail, going with what they have. And I believe also they selected people / brought in people that fit a certain prerequisite for their offense, whether that be processing speed and digesting the offense, getting the ball off quick, running the offense the way they like, being happy with not just being expected to be sharing the burden with run pass balance, because he runs run heavy offenses that rely on the run there. But we're getting besides the point here. Let's look at the 4 quarterbacks that made it to the championship games, conference championship games, but fell short ultimately. Sean King, Buccaneers, 1999. He was a 2nd round draft pick, the 50th overall pick. And just looking at his lasting legacy, he washed out of the league pretty quickly. He wasn't a mainstay. I think he might have, settled for some he settled for some backup jobs, but overall, he was overdrafted at that position in the 2nd round. So him getting there was just a stroke of luck. Like I said, he didn't have any long-lasting success in the league, and that in itself says all we need to know about him. There's an indictment right there. Ben Roethlisberger, obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer whenever he comes up, maybe first ballot. Very talented, above average, but his toughness, he was known for that. Sticking in there to the last second, to try and make a play. Wasn't afraid of contact, even though he took a hell of a lot of hits in his career. But he was the first round pick for them, 11th overall. And that, okay, I'm thinking about Eli and in Rivers, that snafu with, I don't want to play for you, so trade me. But he was the supposedly forgotten quarterback coming out of small Miami, Ohio. And he went on to win 2 Super Bowls and just elevate that franchise there. So him being a rookie, he was just playing wide-eyed, and he was playing above expectations. He wasn't supposed to be there. But they found a way to maximize what he did well at that time and limit the offense to, what he could understand, what he could digest and process at that time. So I'd give Brock a slight edge over a rookie Ben Roethlisberger as far as him not committing the mistakes that Roethlisberger had in his first go run at a quarterback in the league. And he was making a big jump as well. So we'll get to why in a second, like why, comparably speaking to him, comparing him to Purdy, why I would give Purdy the edge. Joe Flacco, another small school quarterback coming out of Delaware State. Man, just an amazing guy there. First round pick for the Ravens, middle of the first round, the 18th pick. But he came in hitting the ground running, showed that really, started to show that small school guys don't have to be limited or just sit, for a couple of years. He started immediately, and it was the right choice for them. But yeah, he was a cut above Ben Roethlisberger, but also just limited in what he could do as a rookie with processing. I think it might have been not Brian Schottenheimer, but I forget the Brian that I'm thinking of. But tough nose coach, but his offense was a little bit complex to understand as a rookie. So for a rookie quarterback, for any quarterback period, but it takes a couple of years in that system to get used to things, and he was playing the best that he could. And you can't discount Kyle Shanahan. He really simplifies the offense, and similar to a coach that designs plays really well in the NBA, he gives those quarterbacks a lot of layups, a lot of concepts, a lot of routes, a lot of schemes that really make them comfortable and really give them quick looks, and just take a lot of the thinking part of it, and this allows them to read the defense and puts them in positions to expose the defense and put them in favorable positions to make those throws easy and to make the reads easy. So, I mean, he's a quarterback's best friend out there. Well, I should say back there, in their ear, in their head. Get out my head, Charles. As what do you call it, Juggernaut would say. But I'd give Brock the edge, not because I think he's better than Flacco as a rookie. Less picks, yeah, of course, but he has the coaching advantage with him being able being able to run a simplified offense versus Flacco having that more difficult offense to digest. And Mark Sanchez, the guy, 5th, he was the highest drafted, but not the most talented to me. Arm talent, yes. Between the ears, yeah, got a lot going on there. As we saw, his legacy, the two aforementioned guys, Joe Flacco and Ben Roethlisberger, went on to do battle for quite a long time because they were mainstays for their franchises. Those were the only franchises that they played for duration. Joe Flacco, he's still playing now, but Roethlisberger was a one man franchise, one franchise man. Stay loyal and faithful to them. Because good quarterbacks are hard to come by. Why let one go if you don't have to? And Mark Sanchez, yeah, he played for a couple of different franchises because he flamed out. And that's hard. Bringing in, like I said, they used to be a lot more complex offenses, and as well as expectations. Sit them for a couple of years, and now you really don't have that luxury, to let a quarterback marinate and soak up those juices of those few years. Sitting behind someone else, being mentored. It's really turned into a what can you do for me now league, and he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He did better in other positions when he got some tutelage and wasn't exposed to that pressure. And then he played for a defensive head coach in Rex Ryan as well, so that couldn't that didn't help. his development either. But I'd give definitely Brock Purdy the advantage here. He wasn't. I mean, he was playing. Sanchez that first year played with a lot of confidence. It was like, if you don't know something, you're not afraid. But he was also like I think maybe a 1-year starter, so like not a good track record. And that brings me to what makes Brock Purdy so good. He was a long-term starter. I don't know if he was a 4-year starter, but he was a long-term starter at Iowa State. So that prepped him. Just getting so many games under your belt gives you that experience. He went head-to-head with Jalen and almost beat him if it wasn't for a faulty 2-point conversion that his coach called wrongly, or so they say, because I didn't watch the footage, just read the article. But yeah, it's like Brock is he's light years ahead because he has that maturity. One rule of thumb that the big fish used to draft quarterbacks. How long did the guy start? Not just for the quarterback position, but he said he wanted over, I think it's like at least 2 seasons worth of starts for the guy, because that it shows a lot, and you can only project where someone's going, by seeing what they've gone through. They haven't been through a lot. It's purely a gamble. I mean, the draft is a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot in and of itself, but especially when you're going in blind, not being able to get someone's footage, because the tape, men lie, women lie, but the eye in the sky is gonna be true. But yeah, so Purdy had that advantage, and coaching as well. I don't know if he had like consistency throughout his career at Iowa State as a Cyclone. I know that NCAA 05, old head. But yeah, like that makes a lot, different whole lot of different, a world of difference, because continuity, you need that to develop, at something, in this sport, someone that knows you, that's going to be able to assess you, and not gas you up, but earnestly hold you accountable, and whatnot. But let's continue to look on. What those 4 quarterbacks all have in common? They lost a game. Kings Bucks, they managed 6 points and they lost against the Super Bowl Rams. That Rams team was amazing. Don't fault them for that. But him only being able to manage 6 points is really pathetic, and it just shows you that his talent level just never was, verified his draft status. And yeah, 2nd round pick, you expect way more than that out of them. That's a a premium pick. Not a 1st rounder, but still pretty high. And yeah, I mean, like, you look at Ben Roethlisberger, he went on to win 13 regular season games. I don't know if that was a record at that time, but I mean, I think that probably stands as a record. And his first playoff game as well, but he ran into the Super Bowl winning Patriots, and that defense, veteran laden, as well as that defensive head coach and Bill Belichick, and him throwing so many different concepts, and they played like a 3-4 at that time, and that 3-4 is a more difficult defense for me to play against, like just projecting, especially for a rookie. But throwing in a lot of concepts and things that he wasn't ready for. He just was unprepared to see, to process, to understand, to know where to poke holes at going against. And he was always going to fail when he ran to a team that was going to attack his weaknesses as a first-time starter, and with his dearth of experience. So he was just swimming out of his depth at that point. And which is why I think that the Eagles can do a lot of similar things, because Brock Purdy hasn't been perfect. Didn't throw a pick last week, but neither did he throw a touchdown. So there were some balls, first wild card game and second wild card game, that were very interceptable. So he just got fortunate. He could have been Dak Prescott, but he wasn't that committed to get the ball away. A charity foundation out there. But yeah, Roethlisberger got routed. Flacco, he started 16 games as a rookie. He won the wild card and divisional round as well. Of course, he played in the championship game. But that man, Roethlisberger, with more experience, took him down. And it was that defense. Like the Ravens also employed a defense. Ed Reed back there. You got in the middle. I'm sorry, I'm wrong team. I'm fucking up. But you got Palomalo back there. I think that might have been the game where he had that amazing like one-handed pick. But it's just like you got a chess piece back there like that. You just have no chance as a rookie. Like you don't know where to go. Where you're supposed to go. What you studied that week. He's a true queen chess piece. He's moving across the board. He has the freedom. He had the freedom to do that, to do whatever he wanted. How the hell are you gonna go against that guy? When where he's supposed to be, he's not. That's just ringing alarm bells in your head. Make you hit the panic button. And they were just too much for him. I don't even think Joe was really bad in that game, but he was just limited in his understanding and his ability to be able to make shift, do things on the run, on the go, on the fly. He was stuck to his basics, his keys, and he can only operate within that spirit. So I mean, that was always again, that was always going to be a loss for him because he just came up against an unscalable wall with his level of experience. And Sanchez, they won back-to-back road playoff games as a rookie, but they were coming up against teams that were just outmatching. That he wasn't going to outduel Peyton Manning. And I think when Peyton and them went up, the pressure was on Sanchez to score, Mark to score, and he just couldn't keep up. And the Colts had an opportunistic defense. They didn't have the best defense, but they were fast flowing. Had like Bob Sanders back there, who was just a heat-seeking missile, no regard for his body, throwing it all over the field. And they had those ends, Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, and they were just relentless. So, and like maybe a decent middle linebacker, I forget what his name was, but light, but bringing the wood. Pause. So, I mean, like, he was out of his depth. He was just, he was fortunate to play the Chargers and the Bengals. And they had a defense as well. So, I mean, like, damn. But even Revis Island was marooned out there against Peyton because he can only cover one guy. He can only cover Reggie Wayne or Marvin Harrison Sr. Can't play both, and one of them going to light you up. So, and the Eagles have two wide receivers. So, I mean, yeah. But let's look at the picks they had, and as well as the quarterback ratings and touchdowns. Sean King, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 34.1 QB rating. Ben Roethlisberger better with 2 touchdowns but 3 interceptions. So lost a turnover battle there. 78.1 rating. Joe Flacco, no touchdowns, 3 picks. So I was wrong. He imploded. 18.2, and they just ate him alive. And Mark Sanchez, the opposite, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, 93.1 rating. But the Colts obviously making the most of that turnover, as well as that offense, probably just staying on the field and not allowing him a lot of time. And they were a ground and pound. I forget that Mark Sanchez's team. So it was like, him doing play action stuff, a lot of things based off of the run there. But yeah, I mean it's similar to Purdy. Purdy is not a guy that is going to come out and just wing it and throw like that. He's not at the stage right now. Might be in the future. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's limited as of right now, just because it's his first year and he doesn't. There's a reason that he was a 7th round pick, the last pick in the draft, and he's just not there yet. He relies on that run game, so I think that's what's gonna hurt them going into this game. Both their top backs, Elijah Mitchell, number 2, and Christian McCaffrey and C-Mac, injured, not even practicing this Wednesday or Thursday. I mean, believe they'll play, but if they're compromised and they don't have that run game to rely on, they're going to have to air it out. And that offense, they're a yak. And they're talking about talking. They want to get the ball out of the QB's hands and get to their, yak guys. They have Deebo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle as well. But you limit them to the short gains as well as limit that run game, they're going to be severely constricted, and they're going to have to turn to Brock Purdy, and that's when that Eagles defense is going to capitalize. yeah, so like he played a completely different defense in the Cowboys. I mean, they're a good defense, and they're just fast flowing, so not giving him a lot of time, put pressure on him, speeding up that clock in his head to get rid of that ball. Yeah, I mean, he's been fortunate up until now to not turn the ball over, but it's an immovable object meets whatever that shit is, I forget. But something's got to give. Something's got to give. He doesn't throw picks. This defense for the Eagles is opportunistic. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Then we're getting Maddox back, most likely. Avonte Maddox in the slot there. Darius Slay and James Bradbury. And Bradbury, he's a smart, intelligent corner. Reads his keys, just like last week. He knew that the ball was coming out quick. Saw the running back going out to the area, so he could flash. It was a safety blitz. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was blitzing, and then Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. I'm sorry. Damn, can't wait for the game. Daniel Jones just thought, okay, well, that area is being vacated, so just throw it to the area where the coverage is missing. But Bradbury went right in for the kill, and before the receiver even broke on the route, intercepted the ball. Just excellent work there. That shows film study and dedication to his craft. But yeah, like Kyle Shanahan, he hides the QB well in his offense. I mean, George Kittle and Deebo Samuel make your job easy, but like I said, Shanahan's elite schemes and perhaps the best collection of skill position players in the league can mask like hell no. Our squad is much better, but he can hide a lot. But I don't think he can hide Purdy from these ferocious birds of prey. So that's all we have for today. Fly, Eagles, fly. We're gonna get up out of here. Let's go.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.